Welcome back to another episode of The Disguised Horse.
Episode 12.
Yeah, we did it. Every time we get up there, I'm just like, yep, we're good. One more.
One more.
All we need is more episodes, more people to watch, more time subscribed, and more time having fun with my best bud here. But hey, man, are you ready to talk about Elon Musk's idea that not only is underpopulation going to be the downfall of society, but also the underpopulation of Twitter is going to be the downfall of his pride and joy, his money?
I don't think anybody wants to talk about that.
I'm sure the SEC does.
Some people.
Once the SEC's finally like, oh, hey, by the way, Elon, you were right. So you just got bamboozled out of like 30 billies.
Could you imagine being that rich? Like, oh, man, I just lost billions of dollars. That's unfortunate.
And then you're just go about your business like it didn't matter because
go make a couple billion.
There's got to be a certain point where you're just like, money just doesn't matter.
I don't care.
I have 20 in savings, so if I lose 3, I'm just 17 billies. Like,
yeah, I mean, like Musk and Bezos and Gates, like just literally just like currently constantly making income, right?
Yeah, no matter what, that passive income.
It doesn't matter. Like, oh, yeah, that's a bummer. I just lost all that money. Like, do they even track that? I mean, unless it's like a significant loss, do you think they actually even track it?
I think it has to be something like in the billies for them to
for it to make a dent.
Because
that sucks.
I believe I saw an article or something. It was like if Bill Gates dropped $100 on the ground at his peak of wealth, it would have cost him more to go back and pick up that $100 bill than to just keep walking.
Just keep walking. Yep, I did hear that.
That's
or like,
insane.
What was it? Jeff Bezos could give everybody in the United States $1 million and he'd still be a trillionaire.
That's amazing. If you could just give me $1 million. But that's why I'm just like, just pay off them student loans, bro. Like, don't even talk to the middleman. Just call FAFSA, ask them the dollar amount.
How much is everybody's student loan? Yeah, I'll cut you a check.
Yeah, I'm just gonna write that off too. So
tax write off. Yeah,
he'll make more money paying off student loans, writing it off than he would any other time.
I want to get to that level where the more money I spend, the more money I make.
That's kind of how it is, because everything's a tax write-off. Everything's a deduction. If you're not thinking about your taxes come tax season, you're already 2 years behind. You're just like, oh my God. Unbelievable. But, in a world we like living in, how have you been?
I've been good. Yeah. Weather's cooling off.
Finally.
I know.
There was the first freeze. My wife put blankets over her crops because we just have like a small, I don't want to say a flower bed, but it's,
a crop bed.
Yeah.
I saw
so
it.
we put towels over it.
Yeah.
And because of the first freeze, and apparently if you insulate them with towels, it'll keep them alive.
It just keeps because the freeze on them, like the actual moisture getting cold is what kills the plant, right? So like if you put something on there, so like the dew in the morning doesn't get on them and then freezes, it'll help them survive.
Ooh, yeah. Because I went to the Bring Me the Horizon concert down in Dallas.
I didn't hear about that. We didn't talk about it.
We'll get there. Super quality. I really enjoyed myself, and I went down, and then I came back and I let the dogs out, and I looked over and I was like, I'm just not going to talk about it. I was like, are those my good sheets?
Just nope.
No, they aren't. They aren't. So they're the crop sheets now.
Yep.
Oh, man. But speaking of Bring Me the Horizon, my favorite band, what about # nostalgia?
# nostalgia.
How do you feel about all these recent video game remakes?
They're getting, I don't know if I want to say out of control, but like they're coming out with some bangers.
Yeah.
Like I saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection.
Oh, yeah,
and
it's
like
all of them.
The Super Nintendo Turtles in Time, like me and my brothers would play that all the time.
Turtles in Time, that's the one where Donatello spins like a...
Yeah, like he got the little like... He's on like his board or whatever and just spins around.
Yeah, I saw that too, because every time I go to like the beercade or something where it's just like, I think there's one in town called Up Down.
Yeah.
I always immediately the Ninja Turtles game. I just have to.
Yeah.
April O'Neil, super spicy.
I mean, it's got, that one had all of them, like from original Nintendo, the arcade games and the Super Nintendo games. So that was pretty cool. They did Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah,
came out with 1 and 2.
That was rad. Because I can't tell you how many countless hours I just spent there, like just playing Tony Hawk.
Oh, yeah.
So in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 was the first time you could create levels.
Yeah.
So I figured out if you made like a figure 8, so you kind of go down, you put a rail in the middle, and then you just kind of keep just going around doing like your figure 8. You could just sit there for hours. because it got to the point where we would stop. We'd be like, okay, we're going to play skate. And you'd have to do like kickflip, no slide, and get a perfect.
Yep.
And if you didn't get a perfect, it didn't count. So, or if you did get a perfect, the other person had to get it. So we were just playing like our own version of skate.
Yep. Yeah, because they had skate in the games, right? But it was like you just had to go around like collecting the letters or whatever, like the actual skate game.
Like, well, the letters too. So you had to grind across like a telephone line and, I don't know, do like the Spider-Man move while you get the secret tape.
Yep. All the secret tapes, dude. That was awesome. Like they would actually be like little clips of like all the old school skate tapes that you could watch.
And I think for Tony Hawk 1, somebody came up and just like did a wall ride, and you're just like, that's the sickest clip ever.
Yeah.
Dude, I think Tony Hawk made a ton of money off that first game.
I'm sure he's still making them now. Like
It's
he
in the
got
gris-
money off the remakes. So like,
Yeah, he had to. That's your likeness,
Yeah.
unless it
And
says
your name.
in perpetuity.
yeah.
Because there's a Gas Monkey Garage. I don't know if you ever heard of them. They did Fast and Loud on the Discovery Channel, but Richard Rawlings signed over his likeness. So basically, anytime they referred to Fast and Loud, they were referring to Richard Rawlings. So Richard Rawlings kind of had like a 10-year, I can't do anything with my name after the final airing of the episode on Discovery. And he was like, it kind of screwed me, because now he's got like a YouTube channel that's sick. And it's basically the same thing, like him doing deals going, I don't know.
Yep.
So it's always stuff like that you're just like, well, if you're going to use my name, then you're going to have to pay me, bro.
Yeah. They had, I have to look it up for another episode maybe, but they had some kind of huge controversy that shut that show down too. I can't remember what it was.
What, Fast and Loud?
Yeah.
I think it was just they wanted to cut ties.
Gas Monkey Garage or
Well,
whatever.
so Gas Monkey is his brand,
Yeah.
and he refused to give Discovery Channel the Gas Monkey Garage name.
Yeah.
So they went with Fast and Loud, but it was Gas Monkey Garage.
Not Loud and Fast.
No. No. I think it's Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
Well, I think the head Aaron something, I think it was.
Yeah.
Like he quit,
the head mechanic guy?
yeah, he was just
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I know you're building something and your wife's going to leave you if you don't finish this build, but I'm out,
I
bro.
got stuff to do.
Yeah,
I'll
I
see you
can't-
later.
I'm kind of done, so whatever you want to do with that."
Yeah.
But either way,
Yeah.
I still love that show. I love all
It's a good
those car
show.
shows. There's one on Netflix right now. I think it's Rust to Riches or something like that.
Yeah.
I watched that one a lot, and it's the same thing. It's like,
Yeah. They're all the
if
same.
I don't get this build done, SEMA's gonna cancel me. Or
Yeah.
like, guys, we can't take any money for this build because we have to get it into the Peterson Museum, and then we'll make concept cars, and then it's just like always. It's kind of like
they
the trailer.
add the drama into it.
It's like the Trailer Park Boys. It's like we're going for the big score this time. It's like we're gonna rob this convenience store, but that's gonna give us $20 so we can make the big score, which is like $1 million in quarters. And you're just like,
Yeah.
all right, bud.
Yeah, there's a ton of those shows too. Because Gas Monkey Garage, Rust to Riches, Counting Cars.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
And these guys always have these wild stories where their parents were like, yeah, my mom, she had a Mustang GT 350, and he's just like starts crying even talking about it. I'm like, for real, bro? They're just like, you could have just told them that was not for sale. That was personal collection. They'd be like, oh, okay, great.
What did your mom drive?
A Dodge Avenger.
Okay.
Before that,
terrible.
It was before that was a
Not terrible.
minivan.
Yeah.
And my mom thought she was hot shit when she got this car. And I mean, being like 8, 9, I was like, oh, this looks pretty tight, you know.
Yeah.
And then I come to find out it's just the worst car ever. And it was like the round one. So I think the new one came out and it kind of just looked like a USB port or something.
Yeah.
But this one was just pretty round and it looked cool. And I think I saw one recently at what are the Oklahoma loves parades. So they were just always at parades here. And I think I saw one there. I was like, oh, this is a car my mom had. It was red and it was everything. So funny story. I used to be pretty good at hockey, roller hockey, not ice hockey.
I did roller hockey.
In New Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it's 100.
There's no ice hockey in New Mexico.
No, so it's just like the skate rinks, right?
Yep.
Outdoors. It's for some reason there's no overhang. And
Nope.
you're just sweating to death. But me and my friend used to hit like tennis balls into the garage, and like my mom's car was in there, and I broke her mirror, and she murdered me.
Yep.
I don't exist right now.
He is actually dead.
Yeah. We used to be so dumb back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Like same garage. My sister kicked a hole in the door because, teenage angst.
Sure.
And we used to throw baseballs at the door in the garage, and they would they're like really flimsy doors.
Yeah.
So they would go through and it'd ricochet back and hit.
Just normal stuff you do as a kid.
Normal stuff. Oh, speaking of hockey, so when my mom, originally I was like, I want to try hockey because my friends were doing it. And I was like, I want to try it. So she came home with a hockey stick, and I was like, it just feels weird for some reason. And it was a left-handed stick, and it was like a right-handed kid. So I was just like, the curve went towards me, and I was just like,
you.
It works, great.
I got it. I actually got kicked out of a couple games in roller hockey because I watched Mighty Ducks.
Oh,
and they check.
Dude, you couldn't check in
And
yours?
in roller hockey, when I first started playing, I was too young, so I couldn't check.
Oh,
but
dude.
I saw it on Mighty Ducks. I'm like, no, I'm checking this game. So I got thrown out of like 2 games.
No, I got benched a lot because we did signature checks. So you just roll up, the guy would have the puck, and you just kind of like slip it under their skates and just kind of come back, and then they just
stick check them,
and they're like, get to the penalty box.
Yep.
No, I refuse. And then I sat in the penalty box for 2 minutes.
Yep.
But dude, I have a mean wrist shot, brother. Like I can cup that bad boy and just whip it.
How many times did you try and do a knuckle puck from Mighty Ducks?
Oh man, I had to stop actually. Because your parents, did you ever get the metal sticks with you could change the blade?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they do it still, but I think everybody still likes the complete wooden one because it's a flex.
Yeah.
But then we'd get the metal ones with the changeable blades, but we'd keep breaking them because we kept trying that.
Yeah.
We'd flip it on side and then just, kind of scuff the bottom. Yep. So the bottom would start delaminating, and my parents would be like, "You just got you this."
Yep. It's like, just any of that. It's like skateboarding. My parents would always get mad because my shoes would get shredded.
Oh, immediately.
Just eat all these kickflips, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like the toe of your shoe was always trashed.
Always. I even remember one time I went to buy I think they were Lakais, and they were like silver, nice. And they looked rad. And the front had it was straight rubber, and I was like, I'm gonna be able to skate these for a while,
forever.
And then they just made my heels just bloody every time. My mom made me stop wearing them because she's like, "What's wrong with your heels?" And I was like, "Oh, they just do this, and they just do this." She's just like, "Just take them off." Like I was like, "I just got them." She's like, "But you're dying. You're,
you're bleeding everywhere." But they're new shoes.
But they look sick, Mom. They're sick. Oh no,
Lakais were good. I had a couple pairs of Lakais. Osiris.
Yeah. Oh my god. And speaking of hockey, that was when I used to have. Did you ever dye your hair and it turned out orange?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So I did that a lot, and it didn't so all my hockey pictures, I was on the Sharks and the Avalanche, and
I played for the Avalanche,
and it was just like orange right here because I just went. I was like, yeah, that stuff. I want that, Mom, and she's like, oh, okay, and I just do it, and it just ruins your hair.
Yep.
So I probably looked like a schmuck. I probably still have the pictures, but I'm not digging them out, man.
Oh man,
love it.
Hockey was good,
dude. I miss it. I wanted to play, but then I went to go buy stuff as an adult, and it was like $600.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I might have the time right now, but I definitely no. This is all Play It Again Sports too.
Yeah.
One of the raddest stores ever because they're all about nostalgia. Like, hey, do you want to use someone else's nostalgia? Because they wanted a baseball bat.
Yeah.
And in Omaha, they had tons of ice skating rinks and outdoor ice skating because it gets hella cold. So there was always an influx of skates and, hockey stuff. So it was really popular. I think it was the beer and cheese league. I think I really wanted to play for because it's beer, pretzels, cheese.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time to me, bro.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
But hey, what do you think we move on to what the news?
What the news?
So on today's What the News, I think it's hilarious.
Okay.
And I think everything is hilarious because this woman was charged with sending a bee swarm at deputies at her eviction. So she's facing multiple assault charges and battery charges, accused of releasing a swarm of bees on the sheriff's deputies as they tried to serve an eviction notice. This is craziness. This is all crazy people. And this is coming out of Massachusetts. And this happened recently. So October 12th, this 55-year-old woman pleaded guilty not guilty at her arraignment because she said she didn't send them.
I didn't do it. The bees did it. Do you imagine, like, dude, you know, like, these cops are going to retire, right? In like 10, 20 years, whatever. They're
All they're
going
gonna
to
talk about is the bee lady.
Tell us a story about the time you were as a police officer. Be like, well, should I tell you about the time I went to give this lady an eviction notice and she sent a swarm of bees after me?
Takes a long drag of his cigarette.
The bees. I still have nightmares. It's all
buzzing,
black
the
and
swarm.
white and raining.
I feel like this woman was something along the lines of, I'm the queen. That's why they saved me. Like, I'm the queen bee.
I am their queen.
I don't even know what to do with this. When I saw it, I was just, this can't be real. And it is. It is.
Like, I just want to imagine, like, they knocked on the door and she opened the door in her, like, bee suit and she's just like, wah! Bees come flying out.
Oh, my God. So she and other protesters maintained that they were trying to prevent a wrongful eviction by sending their bees.
By sending the bees to attack.
But apparently she went bankrupt, unfortunately, and, like, she couldn't have just left. She was like, no, let's send in the bees. I want to see. Oh, okay. So here it is. She arrived in an SUV to the scene and carrying beehives on the trailer. And she started shaking the bees in the direction of the officers. Get out of here. And then she put on a beekeeper suit to protect herself. So it wasn't a little bit of bees. I don't want
to get stung by a bee.
Not a little bit of bees. This is a lot of
hives of bees.
Hives. And I wonder if she knew that eviction was coming, so she went to go get the bees off the prop. Like, she planned it. She's like, as soon as I get here, I'm gonna get them. Oh my goodness!
She's got bee grenades,
dude. She's like the character from the Doom Patrol, the beekeeper. Dude, this lady's nuts, bro.
She's a supervillain.
But while she might be a supervillain, she is nuts, just like our next Around the Internet.
All right, Around the Internet, what do we got?
So I know this. We're not trying to shame anybody because everybody's trying to find love.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to be famous on YouTube. Sure. But this particular YouTuber out of London, Abby Bella, claims to have been abducted by aliens and then fell in love with them.
Hey,
what if I came in one day and was just like, Adam,
I got to talk to you about something serious.
It's serious, dude. And they're just like, what? I was like, I was abducted. And I'm in love now. I was like, aren't you married? Like, yeah, but the aliens, they just mean so much to me.
It's a whole nother kind of love.
Oh my God, dude. I couldn't imagine. Like, you would just be like, I'm not going to be on the podcast anymore. And just kind of politely just like.
So if I ever randomly disappear one day, it's probably because he fell in love with an alien.
Oh my God, dude. What, like Jabba the Hutt looking alien or
what do these aliens look like?
Oh man, I don't know. But she fell in love with an alien after it swept her into her UFO right off her feet. So basically, she thinks that means it was in love. And this all happened during the pandemic, so I think there might have been a little bit of party favors involved.
Imbibing a little.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, this woman she heard a voice in her dream to wait in the usual spot, but they've never met before. Oh my God. I don't know what to do. I just can't stop laughing. A flying saucer swept into view. Before Bella knew it, she wasn't in her bedroom any longer, and there was a bright green beam which transported her to the UFO. Most might be alarmed, but I'm one of those people who all my life had weird encounters, she explained. Nevertheless, she found herself where very few humans claim to have gone, in the belly of a flying saucer. I wonder if she met Tom DeLonge there from Blink-182.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he's out of his mind with these upcoming concert ticket prices.
Yeah.
So I remember we were talking about Blink-182. They started their tour. Their reunion tour. Tickets went on sale.
Nosebleeds are like $530.
$500, brother.
Yeah,
like
nosebleeds.
I'm not that interested in it at that point.
I would love to go see the reunion tour and like see how they sound and everything now, but not that much.
I think we found out who is more popular because they're trying to make a comeback and charge $500 for nosebleeds.
They're gonna get it too.
So anyways,
just not for me.
Bella seems to go on a little bit of a tangent and telling she encountered 5 aliens, not just one. So it's kind of like group love.
Okay.
They were tall, slender, but Bella couldn't make out their true forms. She couldn't see them clearly, and they telepathically said, I'm not ready to see them in their true form, but from what I could see, they had a slight green hue with big black eyes. like a normal alien that she's posing with in this picture.
The little blow up alien.
And eyebrows of all things. She drew a sketch, and I'm trying to find the sketch because I will put that up there. But this poor woman. I know there's been a lot of UFO encounters, but just seems like a crazy person.
Like the article says, like, oh, where few people have been, and like, but there's literally like thousands of reports of people being abducted.
And they're all like crazy people. It's never just like
it's never like normal people or like
So I've honestly, I put myself out there. I put us out there on the internet. I kind of like do this for you. Shut up! Don't talk about that. Because like I know we put ourselves out there, but I think there comes a point where you're just like, I have to do something crazy. Yeah. Like I was abducted by aliens, and then your channel just takes off because you get traffic or.
Everybody wants to see how crazy you are.
And maybe it's because it came about. Maybe she was trying to jump on that trending when like the U.S. government was like, we're releasing these classified documents of aliens, of UFOs. And if you know anything about UFOs, tell us so we can investigate. Because
that was a trend for a little bit, huh?
But I think people get the wrong connotation of UFO. It's like unidentified flying object. That just means like, hey,
we don't know
what it is. It doesn't mean
it's alien.
Doesn't mean it's alien. We just like aren't sure what happened in the airspace during that particular time.
We don't know if that's a passenger airline or like an Alaskan bush pilot, but so we don't know. So it's
possibly a sophisticated drone.
A drone, yeah. You believe in aliens?
Oh God, yes,
dude. I honestly think it's pretty ignorant for humanity to believe that we're the only sentient life in an infinite universe.
I completely agree. While the universe might be expanding, and then one day maybe contract again, but it's just I think
it already
things
happened.
are.
Remember, we talked about this.
Oh yeah,
the world's ending already.
That's right. 2012, the Higgs boson.
Yeah, the Higgs boson, the God particle. Anyway,
but like. And also time is so vast. Like there could have been like alien populations and 100 million years ago. And like astronomically, like that's not that long ago. Like, or it's a long time for us, but for the whole billions of years, like that's not that far away.
Yeah. Like I think okay, I'm not saying they're coming to Earth, they're abducting people, they're mutilating cows, they're making crop circles like in the movies, but like on another planet in another galaxy, I'm sure there is some kind of life.
Yeah, and I think that kind of works perfectly for my conspiracy corner.
Okay. I don't know what it
is. Dun, dun. Conspiracy corner. I don't know. One day we're going to have fucking sick.
Like animations.
Sick. And... All right. So for Conspiracy Corner today, I want to talk about, I don't want to say it incorrectly, but it's Panspermia.
Okay.
Basically, the theory is that life came from elsewhere in the universe.
Oh, yeah, I've heard this.
So, like I said, astronomically, like we haven't been around for a super long time. Like I don't want to get into the whole religious aspect. This is a theory. This is Conspiracy Corner. Conspiracy, right?
Conspiracy.
Maybe not. Maybe just Theory Corner today, but... So life could have been delivered to Earth from any other planet through meteorites. So let's say somewhere in the universe, just bam, 100 million years ago, gets hit by a giant comet or something happens. It explodes. The space rock makes its way across the galaxy. It's got the building blocks of life. It's got amino acids. It's got maybe some water on it.
Yep.
Maybe my favorite thing is extremophiles. You know what an extremophile is?
I don't.
So... the one thing I did pay attention to in science class were they're called extremophiles. So at the bottom of the ocean, during like their lava plumes, there's these little, they're like maybe ant-sized things or microscopic, living organisms that can survive without, sunlight, near a 1,000 degree lava plume underwater, very, very little food. So the extremophiles could have came across on a meteorite. They hit the Earth, maybe hibernated for a little bit. I don't know. Maybe something came along that they liked. Maybe they liked the high percentage of oxygen, and then they just kind of bloomed. And that's kind of like, the theory of Panspermia.
Huh. So technically, we're all aliens.
We're all aliens.
Like this isn't our home planet.
Maybe that'd be
what
super
makes it
sick.
our home planet? The fact that we're here now, or the fact that we didn't come from here?
I mean, I think that's what Elon Musk wants, is for us to become a, multi-planet species.
Yeah.
So, because like let's be real, like there probably aren't they're finite resources on Earth. Period. Dot. Like they don't keep building themselves. Like if one guy buys all the gold, that's all the gold. You know, we're not going to find more.
Once they're done making all the Tesla batteries,
there won't be any more gold.
I mean, yeah, the Tesla batteries are made out of rare earth metals. So like once those are gone,
bye-bye.
That's it.
Yeah. So they could have been sent here. So like, you know, going back to drones, like it could have sent a drone, or these ETs could be the things that, you know, don't need water, don't need food, don't need air. Their bodies will withstand, you know, 100 million light year, you know, travel.
Yeah.
And they're literally just drones that come, and they might be weird, and they're like, we're probing you, and it's like they're just autonomously doing just get something, abduct it, drain its blood, probe it, put it back, you know what I mean? And then we're like, oh my god, it's mutilated, but they're just like, we just did a little experiment.
We didn't know.
It's like, I didn't know that was your cat, bro.
We didn't know this would kill you.
But this theory also goes a little bit further to like life on Mars. So, you know, if you kind of look at how planets spin, there's graphs everywhere, or charts and graphs and stats.
Charts and graphs.
Earth and Mars are very, very similar.
Super similar.
Yeah. So one of the theories is they could have come from even Mars. Like Mars was a thriving sister planet to us, kind of just in the same rotation in the Goldilocks zone, which is like it's a solar body that's far enough away from its sun, like the sun or its star, to where it could be habitable. Like you couldn't live in Mercury because it's too close to the sun. It spins too fast. But like whatever X amount of miles away from your star is, like life can habit there. 1
astronomical unit.
Yep. So there's is that really for Mercury?
No, 1 astronomical unit is I believe is the distance from Earth to the sun, or something like that.
Oh, neat.
So within...
You're learning something, kids.
So technically, like Mars is, you know, obviously not one.
A little bit further than
It's
one?
a little bit further, but it's within that 1 astronomical unit. Like when you get out to 2 astronomical units, we're too far away and it's too cold. The planet's revolving around the sun too slowly to sustain life. But yeah, Mars is within that threshold.
Yeah, and I mean, it works out kind of perfect. So like, It could have just had life before us, you know, let's just say 100 million years ago, and then they sent stuff here and it blossomed, and then here we are.
That'd be crazy. Like we get, because they're trying to set up colonies on Mars, right? Musk's trying to do it right now. Like they get over there and they're, you know, like excavating stuff, like digging around, trying to get samples, and they find like bones.
A Nokia.
We had this too. Yeah, they just find like bones, like humanoid bones. Like
that'd be rad.
That would be insane.
That'd be super rad. And then I think there's other theories that kind of go along with why Mars is the way it is. And I think it's because like a nuclear war back in the day, or like I don't know, let's say a hydrogen bomb, because hydrogen bombs like suck all the oxygen out of the atmosphere.
Vacuum bombs.
So maybe they just did that to the whole planet.
Well, I mean, like we're still on Conspiracy Corner, so there's plenty of people that talk about, if you look at like orbital pictures of Mars, you can see what look like structures all over Mars, all over the place.
And then with I think it's LiDAR technology, like they're looking into like the Amazon and things like that, and South America, Southern Africa, these densely populated forests, and they're seeing like old societies just under the thing, and
under
like,
the jungle.
Yep. So I wonder if they could do that on Mars, and they're just like, there's streets. There's, you know, I don't know, like how different would it be? Like, do you think it'd be like more circles, or do you think there'd just be more?
I mean, no, I feel like it would probably be, because like physics is the same, right? Regardless of where you're at. So same thing, shortest distance from point A to point B is a straight line. So if they're going to be building civilizations, it's still going to be, the roads are still going to be straight lines, you know, so it's still going to be laid out in at least a similar fashion to what we're already used to seeing. And that, I feel like that's why when people look at these maps, that's why they're catching it, because their brain already knows, like, okay, this is what a city looks like. This is what a building looks like, you know, and they're seeing like pyramid structures and layouts that could be highways and pathways through places. So I don't know.
Yeah. And
maybe.
I mean, concrete and things like that don't last long when there's a giant solar storm that just constantly rotates the planet. I mean, we watched Planet of the Apes recently. And it had been like 10, 15 years after the fact. And the cities were overgrown and crumbling. So I'm just like, so basically no maintenance or upkeep. things just kind of
just,
fall
it
apart.
just reverts back to nature. Like, I mean, you can see that in your lifetime if you got like cities and stuff that have been abandoned. Like that whole industrial park in Chicago after they shut down all the like car factories and stuff, it looks like a forest.
Really?
I mean, they're tearing it up now, like cleaning it up and like rebuilding a lot of those factories. But like just after a few years, I mean, like it starts with weeds, cracks in the ground, and then the weeds get bigger, and then now there's small bushes, and then there's trees. Like, I mean, it could take, maybe 100 years, couple hundred years, but like over 1,000 years, you won't even know there was a city there.
That's true. I think there's sometimes there's Instagram reels. I know you're not a big scroller like me, but it'll be, oh, look at this beautiful McDonald's in 2005. And then it's like, oh, it goes abandoned in 2008. And then 2010, it's, just kind of decrepit. And then it's like 2022, it's just no longer
It's
there.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, that's just in your lifetime. You can watch that happen. So now if you think about that on a planet-sized scale, like, yeah, it could be 100, 200, 500 years. And if it was all abandoned or whatever, something like that, solar flare knocked them out with a hydrogen bomb, like, you would never even know it was there.
That's crazy. But are we alone? I don't think so.
Doubt it.
Maybe they just happened, like I said, in time before us, or they haven't happened yet. Like maybe they're going to be talking about the Disguised Horse podcast in 100,000 years. Like,
look at these idiots.
Like, once again,
they knew it.
They weren't talking out of their asses. That's crazy. Oh man. Ooh. But I think another great podcast in the books.
Yep. It's an educational one.
Hey,
slightly.
We've got
You're probably wrong.
Aliens, bee swarms,
more
aliens.
More aliens. A lot of aliens.
But hey guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Yep.
Let us know what you want to see down in the comments, and thanks for watching.
Yep. We'll see y'all next time.
See ya.